Hey everybody, Jonathan from Buffalo Modular Homes, and behind me is a beautiful chalet that sits over 1,800 square feet on the first floor, which is not very common for a chalet. Typically, they're usually a little bit smaller, usually 1,400 square feet, a lot of times even 1,000 square feet, but this is a larger one for sure, and you can see how they've done it here. So you can see they got these extra wings off the side, which add additional square footage, but keeping that chalet look, that beautiful chalet look. So we're down here in the southern tier, and it's the fall, and the leaves are falling and changing colors and everything, and it's beautiful down here. But I wanted to walk you through this home so you can get a sense for how to get into maybe a larger chalet than a lot of the baseline chalets that you'll see on our site. So as we kind of walk around the outside here, I'll walk you through, and the quote-unquote front door is around the back of the house. Chalets always get a little bit interesting in terms of how you assess what's the front, what's the back, and all of those sorts of things. It kind of, usually the site is a little bit more unique as well. I mean, technically the driveway is over here, so obviously you're not really approaching, you know, the curb appeal aspect of the house, but as you'll see, in this house, the land is the thing to see. So they've set up shop here in the southern tier, and this is a beautiful piece of property that they have here, and we'll get a better view from the upstairs in this house as well. So you can see a lot of the siding obviously needs to be done on site here. You can see they started some of it way over here. The rest of the siding is shipped loose inside the house, waiting to be done. But this is kind of the state of things on the day that the house is being set. Where you'll see a lot of siding needs to be done, soffits and fascias and things like that. But you can see that we got the drip edge on the, well, you probably can't see the drip edge just because it's too far away. The drip edge for the roof, as well as all the shingles, are all done on the day that the house is being set. And as you can obviously see here, this is going to be a walkout basement, which allows for a ton of additional square footage to be used whenever the homeowners are ready to finish this out. So the site contractor is getting ready to be pouring the floor in the basement here shortly, which is an exciting time for the build. And then after that, we'll be able to put in basement stairs and things like that, and get some other things underway for this build. So this came in actually a lot of different sections here. I believe this is 4 different sections for this house, plus some of the roof line and that needed to be set on site as well, with some of the way that it was structurally designed by the engineers working with the factory. So you can see as we come around the back of the house, usually, so this is the side of a chalet that's just doesn't really get much love, because we always want to pay attention to the other side of the house, but you really want to think about the whole thing. Obviously this one's in the middle of the woods, so not really too concerned about curb appeal aspect of things, but you know, you always want to be aware of all the different angles that you're going to be looking at the house and how that's going to feel. What is it going to look like? Do you like it? Do you care? All these sorts of things. So they're things that you definitely want to be considering. So let's see if I can make this here. Ugh. Made it. Okay, so we are in the house. Electric isn't in the house yet, so you'll have to bear with me here in terms of the natural light that's available to this. Here's a side door, okay? So this is kind of this mudroom sort of space. There's a bathroom here with a pocket door. So you can see they braced this pocket door to keep it shut, or keep it open, I should say, actually, to keep it from, you know, breaking or anything like that. They got a closet in here, as well as the space for the washer dryer. Okay, so this is kind of the whole washroom space. They did a bunch of pocket doors in here, as you'll see. Here's another one here, because quite honestly, a lot of times you're gonna leave these doors open. So this is for a couple who's got all their kids and grandkids coming out to this property. They're super excited about this and being able to have this beautiful home to be able to host the whole family in. So this is kind of an interesting situation. We don't usually get into this too much, but as you can see, we have a big wide open space and a whole bunch of outlets installed, and you can kind of see what's happening here. This is going to be the kitchen in the future. So the homeowner selected to have cabinets installed on site, whether it's because they had something that they really wanted done, maybe they were getting some Amish-made cabinets, or maybe they just didn't really like the options and really wanted to do something very specific. either way, it's no problem to get a house shipped without any cabinets in it. No big deal. Obviously, you're losing some of the advantage of modular, but certainly not all. There's a lot of advantage to it for sure. So you can see we have the electric hookup for the range, and then you can see the water line for the fridge, and you can start to see this kind of take shape. So you can see the line for the waste for the sink here. We got this triple window here. Beautiful, nice view of the pond, actually, if you can see it through the big, huge mound of dirt. So this is kind of going to be the state of things when the house arrives. Obviously, not all houses look exactly like this when they arrive, but some do for sure. Here's a whole bunch of drywall that's been shipped loose with the house. Whole bunch of extra trim work because, as you can see, there's no floor in this house, so they didn't install the baseboard. They shipped the baseboard loose for it to be installed on site. And then depending on the situation, a lot of times they'll do the windows and the doors as much as they can. That's always the goal, as much as you can in the factory in advance. So here's one of the marriage lines of the house that you can see they've braced additionally here for shipping purposes. And then this drywall work needs to be finished on site. And then these can just be simply unscrewed and taken right out. They're not, structurally in there or anything like that. They're just in there for the point of, keeping the house from racking at all or anything like that during the shipping purposes, shipping time. So you can see our screens here, and you can see some interior doors as well. So those look like those are doors that are going to sit right on the marriage line of the house because they have these thicker jambs, right? And then we get into the exciting part of the house, which we'll just go here first. And you can see a whole bunch of ship loose material in the house. And even the treads of the stairs were not installed from the factory for the point of keeping them preserved and making sure that they stay nice rather than having it be something that you just change when it arrives on site because you find out that your site contractors ended up, kind of beating up the stairs as they're coming up and down, with their boots and those sorts of things. Those things can happen. So this is kind of a huge advantage with having the stairs, be able to be installed on site. Now the structural aspect of them are here, which is great. And this is where the basement's going to come in. You can kind of see the drywall underneath for the basement stairwell. And you can see they actually have this little overhang here, which is kind of this nice piece. So it looks like the stairs are going to actually wrap around a little bit around these edges, which is kind of cool. And then, again, speaking to the way that the house is going to be shipped versus when it's all finished, all of these are just braces in here for the point of shipping. And actually, it makes it a lot easier. We've talked about this in some of our other videos. It makes it a lot easier to work on that ceiling of this vaulted space, having these in here, because you've basically just created this temporary floor in here. So it just makes it a lot easier so that you're not setting up this huge scaffolding to try to get up there. You might need to, but it's just, saves you some time and energy and that sort of thing. So another bracing in here for the point of shipping. These things will come out. This is load bearing. That point right there is load bearing. You can see, if I back up a little bit, it's easier to see, I think. You can see that the walls come out to this point. You could see that prow peak that was on the outside of the house where the roof kind of projects out in front of the house a little bit. That's something that a lot of people really like on a chalet. Even if the house itself doesn't come to this point, they like that prow peak sort of idea. It's a neat feature. So this will be the living room space in here, right? And then this will all be wide open, all be open up above and everything like that. It'll be really fantastic for these homeowners. And when we go upstairs, let's just do that right now. You'll be able to see some other load-bearing pieces of the puzzle here. So I can see you'll see from some of the other photos of this house really what really drew these homeowners to this property. It's beautiful here. It's just beautiful. They're right at the top of this huge hill, and it's a great piece of property. So these here are load bearing here. You have one here, and then you have this one here, and then these collar ties are also needing to be in here specifically. Okay, so this is where your ceiling is going to come in. So you're going to come in up along here. You're going to go flat, and then you're going to come down. and then you're going to come down on this as well, right? So what they did here is they allowed for this to be finished out a little bit more open on the downstairs, meaning sometimes you'll see it where the plan will have kind of a flat ceiling in here on the both sides of the living room space. And that can be something that a lot of people like because you could put some recessed lighting in there. But some people like it more open. So you certainly have some options. You definitely want to, when you're looking at a chalet, you really want to be clear on how that vaulted space is going to look, okay? So some of this is based off of the selection specifically that this homeowner did. Some of them are load-bearing decisions that are just kind of made from an engineering standpoint. You have to do it like this. It's not really an option of doing it differently because structurally it won't work, right? So this is just another option of how to do a chalet that you see, certainly a lot less. Most chalets are a single, 2 modules, and this one ends up being 4. So as we come back through, you can see actually, you'll see a couple, there's some electrical whips here, some over here. You can see to be able to run electric upstairs. And then if the homeowner wanted to be able to put a bathroom up here as well, if this is done just like this, where it's unfinished upstairs, the plumbing lines up and run your waste lines up and everything like that to be able to make it really easy to finish out the upstairs whenever you're ready. So we're gonna come back down and we'll go through the rest of this house. This is 3 bedrooms and then 2.5 baths because there's that half bath in the laundry room space. So you can see this is the insulation room. So this is just stored in here because it keeps it nice and clean and easy. It's not in the way. You're not having to move things around and stuff. So this can be a really, if the factory didn't already send the house this way, this just gives you some ideas of things that you can do to kind of organize things, keep things together and make it nice and easy. This bedroom isn't going to need to be worked on until you're nearing the end when you're going to put your flooring in and put your trim in and stuff. So it's a good spot to store things in here. So you can see you have your closet over here, nice window facing out the back over here. And then as we go through, if you can follow me here, coming back through, we're going down our hall. Here's our living room space again, right? Stairwell to the basement. Obviously the stairs need to be, the floor needs to be cut out and then the stairs need to be put in as well, which we can do after the floor gets poured. The concrete floor in the basement gets poured, then you can put those basement stairs in. Okay, here's the rest of the living room space. You can see they've got a prep for a TV up here, which would be great. And come back around. You have your hall bath. This is a little bit difficult to see just because there's not any natural light in here, but you can see this is all tiled in advance. Okay, so they tiled up to the tub, okay, and went all the way up to the ceiling. Again, you want to be real clear with what you're looking for, so that there's, what you end up getting is exactly what you were expecting and not, oh, I didn't realize it was going to be like that. So the tile is all ungrouted, okay, it needs to be grouted on site. Okay, and they went with 2 different niches. So some of the factories will do these really specific specialties and stuff like that, which is great. This house specifically came from the factory SMI, and they'll do some of these really specific things. Some of the others don't, just because they're not really set up to do that. They're set up to be a little bit more streamlined. SMI is a factory that'll do a little bit more boutique sorts of setups, especially when you get into tile and stuff like that. So again, coming back to this, vanity is not installed because the homeowner decided to do cabinets on site. Okay, here's the other bedroom, bedroom number 2. Here is where all the flooring is that's been shipped loose in the house. Okay, so this all needs to get installed on site. Here's your closet as well. And then you just have your junction box for ceiling fan or whatever it is that they choose to do there. But that just sets you up to be able to install whatever you want to install. You're not tied to whatever the fixtures are that the factory has to offer. And then this is the master, okay, which makes sense. They got a sliding glass door here, so they'll probably do a nice tripping over things. They'll probably do a nice big deck, wraparound deck over top of the walk-up basement over here as well, or maybe they're just going to do some stairs down and make it nice and easy for themselves, right? Nice big transom window Some people ask what a transom window is. This is a transom window. Long, skinny window. You put it usually in like a shower, or you put it above where your bed's gonna go, things like that. That's usually what you do with the transom window. It's usually not an operable window, but it lets in obviously a lot of natural light into the house. Here is the master closet. Again, pocket door, and then a pocket door for the master bath as well. And you can see, you know, this is a pretty big closet in here. I'll just walk into this thing, get a sense for this. This is enormous. You can see they got ship loose mirrors in here that chose not to install. Probably just because the vanities and that were not in, so they just wanted to make sure it was exactly where they wanted it to be. They didn't have plans to do a lower vanity for any reason, or a higher vanity because they're going to do like a vessel sink, those sinks that sit on top of the countertop, right? And then here is the master bath. Beautiful, beautiful shower. You can tell there's matching tile in both the bathrooms. They got a corner seat in here, corner tile seat. And then again, the two niche idea, okay? And then nice big window in here in the shower. Some people get nervous about doing windows in the shower because they think about water and these sorts of things. Certainly, of course, it's a possibility. I mean, water gets wherever water wants to. It seems like a lot of times. But you know, it's gonna be a brand new house. You know, you really don't need to worry too much about that. Nice window in here off the side to let in some more extra natural light in here. Here's where your toilet's gonna be, and then they can do, you know, just some built-ins over here. And then the double vanity. You can tell double vanity because they got the two lights, right? And then they got the two wastewaters here. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you as you're considering your new home and your project, trying to figure out what exactly it is that you're looking to do. And for those people, because I talked to plenty that are looking to do a chalet specifically, trying to figure out how do I get into a bigger chalet? Well, this would be a great way to do it, to do these wings off the sides of the house, because that, if you do that, you can kind of project these, you know, as long as you want, really, quite honestly, which is kind of nice. So it's a great design, really, and if it is going to be in more of a, you know, a suburb sort of an area, and you maybe still have a reason that you'd want to do a house that has a view sort of a thing, this fits a little bit more in the setting of, you know, maybe a neighborhood or something like that, because it gives you the opportunity to have that, the front part of the house, you can design that in a way that actually has some good curb appeal, and you have a nice front door there. Probably a porch is going to be a really important thing on a house like this from a curb appeal standpoint on the front. So just be thinking about things like that. But again, hope this is helpful to you as you're considering your project. Maybe you're just simply really like looking at walkthrough videos, really like the idea of new builds and stuff. You know, share this with some friends that might be thinking about the idea of building. Maybe they're frustrated with the way that the market is and just considering the idea of building. Feel free to reach out to us wherever you are. I mean, we can build in a lot of different places with the ability to do things through modular means. You can actually send a house to a lot of different locations, and we can deliver the house, set it onto your foundation, and it'll show up very, very similar to what you're seeing here. And as you can see, I mean, you know, from an interior standpoint, you're nearly done with this house. I mean, you got to put the flooring in. Obviously, they shipped it loose with no cabinets in here, shipped it with no cabinets, which is not normal, but the cabinets are in here depending on what materials you're looking for. Potentially even the countertops and sinks can be in the house as well. So it's really a great way to get into a new build and to get into a house where most of the work is done off-site. It's done before it even gets to your property. So if this is helpful to you, and if you have a project that you're considering, let us know how we can help and what ideas that we can collaborate with you on and help you get into a completed home done exactly how you're looking for. Thanks so much for watching.